Well, if you are not living under a rock, you know who our next guest is as Veronica Harrington. You know her from the hit show on the Oprah Winfrey Network, The Haves and the Have-Nots. We have the lovely Angela Robinson joining us here on the program for the first time to talk to us not only about her journey as an actress, but what it's been like for her to bring this complex character to life. And Angela, good afternoon to you and welcome to Conversations Live.
Hi, Cyrus. Thank you for having me.
I want to talk about your character especially, and, there's several things I mentioned earlier, of course, about your interaction with Catherine, your interaction with your husband on the show, your interaction with your son. I think, what is so interesting that we've gotten to know, especially after your character took the case of Benny, that there really was something, there that you felt like you had to look into. What was it like for you as you were bringing us that? Here was this mother, Hannah, who was, just sure that, that her son was innocent, as a lot of people would say, and even as I think Veronica said, said to Catherine, that if he's not innocent, you're gonna have a problem with me. What was it like for you to bring that to life and know that that was really the story of a lot of people?
It was an honor. I mean, when I got that script and I realized I would be the one. I knew that I was a retired attorney, but when I realized I would be the one trying this case, it was an honor as an actor because there's so many dimensions here. I mean, you talk about this woman who is privileged and wealthy, not because anyone gave her anything, but because she worked hard and created her own wealth, and she's a millionaire, this black woman, who doesn't have patience for people who don't work hard and who can't pull themselves up by their bootstraps. She just doesn't have that much patience for that. So now she has to work hard, go back to a career that she had left, not because for no reason. She left it because she became wealthy another way. And so to go back to that career for a friend, which was Catherine, and to see this mother, to take her in finally, and to see the love and the faith that she has in her child, and also knowing the relationship that I, the character Veronica, have with my child, and that I don't have that same faith and that same love. I do have the love, but that same faith in my child and that same assurance that he's going to be okay. I don't have that. And so there's an admiration that's formed there that I am not going to let this woman down because she has raised such a beautiful boy, and that's everything I ever wanted for my son.
Yeah. You also, one thing I didn't mention, and I'm sure, everyone talks about her, and that is, of course, the character Candace. You also have your own encounter with her as Veronica. I think, there are memorable lines I think that most people will not be able to forget from this show. I think you talking about I think it was the whole bath in the bathroom. Things like that. I think that's one of those things. It is interesting, though, to watch the interaction. And what I got from this, and I'm curious to see your thoughts about this, Angela, is that regardless of what the economic situation is for these characters, there are a lot of strong women in this show that really can hold their own. Do you think that has been one of the things that has made it such a winner across the board because people, regardless of their status, they see parts of themselves in it?
I agree. First of all, shout out to Tika Sumter, wonderful Candace, and also Hannah and Catherine, such great actors. But I agree that the beauty of this piece and the beauty of Tyler Perry and his writing is every character is, fully evolved, that there are no one-dimensional characters. These characters, that's why I always love it when everybody thinks of Hannah as, the praying mother, and then she says something, you go, oh, don't mess with Hannah, So I love that everybody has, dimensions about them. So, and we often say, as a cast, we often say, oh, girl power, we're loving the way that he's writing for the women. So I love anytime I'm in a scene with Candace because I really feel that probably Candace is Veronica 20 years ago,
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. Now, you mentioned, of course, your relationship with your son on the show. That is another thing I think that has really gotten people talking. Is the character Jeffrey? He's lost it in this show. Talk to us about that for you, because last week one of the things Renee said to me about the conflict she has with interacting with her family on the show versus who she is as an individual is the way that she is as herself, as Renee, more nurturing, and she really wants to to hold them and make it okay, where Catherine's more suck it up, get it together. You're really that same way with your son on television, Jeffrey. What was it like for you to have those what were really tense moments to watch? What was it like for you to have those encounters with him on the show?
Difficult and yummy at the same time. Yummy as an actress. Because, just to be able to do those types of scenes for an actor is just wonderful, and to do them with Gavin, who is wonderful, that was great. But difficult because, one, because we're friends, because Gavin and I are friends. So to bring him to tears, is, that's difficult. But also because, the truth is people feel that way. And there are moms, going through that very thing. And so I do the character a disservice if I try to make her likable as opposed to commit totally to the way that certain people may feel. And so that may not be the way that I feel. So that's the conflict that I have. But because I am an actor, it's yummy, too, to be able to just pour myself into this character that is completely different from me.